in the chat room to welcome our country manager, Miss Sharon.
Hi everyone, good evening. I hope you all can see me because just now my laptop just cut off, just shut down.
Oh,
all right. Yes, it's good to see every one of you. As what Oliver says, that we already entered to the 86 royalty, and welcome to the new royalty period. And congratulations for those who is doing very well for the 85th royalty periods. So I know all of you have put in effort to make your business to the next level. So tonight is the first week of the month that we focuses on product training, and it's so important that when you have enough product knowledge, and then you can expand your business, and also you can help your customer to make a good choice to select a products that to build their immunity and also their health, right? So this is what we are set out to do. So these are the things that we do in our business. Now, tonight, we are going to talk about taking vitamins for health, multivitamins for health and vitality. So we all know that balance in our nutrients is so important. So, but in order for us to build a healthy body, of course, there are many other things that we do also. First, you need to choose to eat the right food. So we all know that. So, but in Malaysia, it's so hard, right? There are so many delicious junk food, right? We all know that. But we always know that those food are so good, but not necessarily the food are good for us. So, but how do we balance? But choosing the right food is very important. So therefore, it comes from our personal discipline. And also the concept of health and also building a healthy body is very important that we have the knowledge. So that's why choosing to eat the right food is the first essential step. And then the next one, of course, doing an appropriate level of or moderate exercise. So do we do that? Like us working in the office, we'll be sitting at least 8 hours in the office. Like now, when we rush back our journey, another 1 hour jam, sitting in the car, and then when we come back, sitting in front of the computer for Zoom. So it's very hard for us to have exercise, but we all have to make a choice to do at least moderate exercise or maybe some walking. That is very important to help to improve our health. And the other one, of course, is dealing with stress. I'm sure last month or last week, a lot of our leader or member are very stressful because need to close their 85th royalty, right? Still short of NV, short of RV and that kind of things. So yeah, and also maybe I heard a lot of people say that when the children are having school break are even more stressful. So that's why we also deal with stress. Then we need to take appropriate nutritional supplement. This is very important so that it can help to fuel us to do the things that we want to do every day. So in order for us, when we do that, therefore you will have this nutritional insurance. We heard about this, right? Nutritional insurance is like you are what you eat, right? Every day, every morning we consume AlphaLipid Lifeline. That's why we become healthy. Our immune level become higher. That's why this is exactly you are what you eat. Nothing get into your mouth by accident. All right. Accidentally, I eat Maggi mee. There's no such thing, right? Accidentally, I have my supper. There's no such thing. So we all choose the food that we eat. But if a nutrient isn't in the food chain, whatever you eat is not in the food chain, it won't be available to your body, right? So let's say if I want immunity, but the food that I eat is not going to help me build immunity, memang tak adalah. So that's why, remember, we eat to live rather than we live to eat. This is very important because diseases only strike a vulnerable body, right? So if our body is very vulnerable, so therefore it's very easy for us to fall sick. So remember this, we eat to live, all right? So we choose the right food, so then we can have a healthy body. So when Graham started the business, right, in the Lead magazine interview, Graham did say this. He started the business when he's in the quest of searching for answer to protect his brother during that time. He met a lot of scientists and doctors and things like that. So actually they told Graham that Graham learned that, you know, so you can actually determine to live how long you want to live and what kind of quality of life by supplement yourself. So that's why take the right food, then you can live longer and you can have quality of life, enjoying the life that you want. So like Graham said, he's now become the wellness and longevity fanatic. So we all know that Graham is the survivor of a cancer DNA, and that is how he learned how the body function, and a rolling nutritionist supplement can play an important role into our body. So that's why to him, it's like when he started the business in 1984, if he talk about mineral and vitamins, people say you sell, you crazy. You know, at that time, people don't understand all this. If you telling people to consume, so people really don't understand. But now it's proven that after 40 years, he still live healthily than any one of us, and he's still going strong and energetic. All right, so that's why multivitamins for health, like what Graham said, and for health and vitality is very, very important. So therefore, RDA, tonight we are talking about RDA. RDA help to ensure you are getting the nutrients you need for optimum health. So what is RDA? We reviewed the answer already. If you know, if you didn't see anything, what is RDA? If you want to type in the chat room, right? What is RDA? Of course, RDA is a recommended daily allowance or a recommended dietary allowance. But in New Image, we use daily allowance. But in the international arena, the medical term is called recommended dietary allowance. So do you know that RDA, when the RDA is introduced into the market, before we move on to the next slide, can anyone tell us or type in the chat room? Do you remember or have you heard about it? When was RDA, New Image RDA introduced in the market? Okay, I want to see the chat room here. No one have heard about it, right? Okay, so actually we heard about ST2 was the first product, right? In fact, I have recently have the opportunity to talk to Graham when during our Bali trip to reconfirm the product. So Graham told me, our next slide, RDA and SC2 was our #1 pioneer products that introduced in New Image product line. Why at the time? Because ST2 is the one that he wants to use this keto diet to reverse the healthy cell, like to kill the cancer cell where you boost your healthy cell. That is the ST2 by using keto diet coupled with the soy protein. And RDA, of course, to balance the nutrients in our body, the nutrients and vitamins. So at that time, this was the key 2 products that supporting the reversing or recalibrations of our body. So that is very, very crucial. So RDA, of course, is like what I say, it's a recommended dietary allowance. So it is, so actually it's the level of intake of essential nutrients on the basis of a scientific knowledge. And of course, it's judged by the food and the nutritional board to be adequate to meet the known nutrient needs for a particularly or all healthy person, right? This is what, in order for you to stay healthy, away from diseases or attacked by viruses, these are the recommended dietary allowance set for everyone. So that's why that will help us to prevent, to avoid illness. So that is exactly what it means for RDA. All right. So now I think you have better understanding. So that is the reason why the product called RDA. But we all know that in short time, poor nutrition can contribute to stress, tiredness, and our capability to work but in a long term, poor nutrition can contribute to the risk of developing some illness like diabetes, obesity, cataracts, anemia, poor energy level, osteoporosis, and heart disease, and the list go on. And even like overweight, obese, tooth decay, high blood pressure, blockage of artery, and it can go on and on. So this is so important that we need to know what we need to take. But beside that, beside all these common diseases that we heard about, it's also a common knowledge that when a person is lack of or have sufficient nutrients and vitamins, beside the disease that we talk about, and the biggest threat is to our mental health, which is stress, right? So when we have nutrients imbalance, when we face with the world, like just I said, busy, we are very busy, and suddenly you feel like you've got headache, and then you start to get stressed. You know, a lot of older people or aging process during the aging, among my friends or among people that I know, when they feel like I'm lately couldn't sleep well, lately I get very tired easily, they start to figure, like thinking like, am I having some chronic disease? So do I have cancer? Am I having this and that? They start to like stress out. Of course, stress, there are many kinds of stress. So what is stress? Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Stress is also a natural human response that prompts us to address challenges and threats in our life. And everyone actually experiences stress to some degree. So what happens when there is stress? Okay. So when stress, it can use up our body reserve vitamins and minerals very quickly, because your body reacts to stress. You need energy, you need concentration. So you need to think, your mind start to burn, start to get work out. So that's why it would use the vitamins and minerals that store in your body, especially in your brain and your mental stress. So your nerve energies supply energy to brain and your nerve system. Okay, that's why we use it as a psycho-emotional energy. So it fuels you with that. So if you use a lot of nervous energy over an extended period, you need additional supply of a range of mineral, vitamins, and trace elements. So that's why a lot of people, when they stress, they say, okay, some people stress, they want to eat more. Some people stress, they go smoking. Some people stress, they go drinking. Or some people stress, they do all sorts of things, right? So all different people have different way of de-stress themselves. So, but there are many levels of stress. When we move into, like, you have primary sign, headache, primary signs. So you inhabit to cope with crisis. So you have inability to initiate conversation or cope with crowd. When you go to a very crowded place, you get very nervous. Some people stress and headache, that kind of things. So the secondary, when you move to secondary, is lack of concentration. So like you do work, but you just cannot think. You just cannot concentrate. You wanted to do something, you feel like you want to do, but you just don't have the energy, the drive to do it. When it comes to the tertiary, the third stage, is where absent-minded. You walk around the room like, hey, why I come to kitchen? I forgot why I come to kitchen. Then I go back to the living room. Oh, I remember I go to kitchen to take something. Then I go back to the kitchen again. I forgot why I go there. So you walk up and down. I think many of us have that kind of experience before. Then the final stage is like indecisiveness. So what do I want to do? Now I wear black or I wear blue. I go or I want to attend Zoom meeting or I don't want to attend Zoom meeting because it's like, I feel like going, but I don't have the energy to go. All right. And when we cannot meet the target or we cannot meet the things that we want to do, we become depressed easily. So it can lead to that kind of stress. So that is all due to lack of nutrients and vitamins, right? For many, what about the old people? Many elderly people, particularly those living alone, okay? They eat small meals that are not nutritional balanced. So that could also lead to, lack of nutrients. So, and, before long, they start to show many different kinds of signs of nutritional deficiency. Like I said, stress, lack of concentration, poor memory, and absent-minded, indecisive, depressions, all could start one by one developing in an older person. So all this syndrome is because of RDA deficiency, lack of the recommended dietary allowance. Every day we need to fuel our body because sometimes some of the nutrients we can absorb from the food that we eat, and most of the time we have to eat a lot, then only we get the amount that is needed. So therefore, it's very easily get into this kind of syndrome. So this chart show you that those are the vitamins and mineral sources that it come from based on the measure of the USDA. These are just a list of things that is in the recommended daily allowance, like from vitamins to minerals to magnesium, that kind of thing. So I won't go into detail. As you can see, just quote example, like if you need vitamins, it comes from turkey, you can eat turkey to get that, and carrot juice, pumpkin, vitamin C from orange juice, from grapefruit juice, vitamin D or from trout, from the fish, and of course also from the sun. We also get that when we go exercise. So the list of things is recommended. So the other thing also, you can see a lot here, it comes from plant-based also. The other one is selenium. Next slide. So, but do you know that we always say that, oh, I can eat a lot of fruits, eat a lot of veggie, maybe I can absorb those nutrients and minerals that I need. But normally, vegetable, it comes from the soil-grown crops, always provide a lot of key minerals and zinc and magnesium. So that is in the group of selenium. But how do we know that the soil contains enough of mineral? Because nowadays, the way we do our crops are very different, right? So maybe you still don't have enough selenium that come from the soil-based, soil-grown crops, right? So therefore, we need to take multivitamins from RDA to help ensure we get all the micronutrients that we need to have optimum health and prevent chronic disease that we just mentioned. All right. So, but what is inside the RDA? Okay. So each tablet of RDA, it actually contains all this. It's all in your product label. If you have RDA with you, it's all contained in your product label. So out of which you can see all the red color is actually also in our K29 and in all other new image products. But these are the recommended daily allowance based on one tablet, okay? And the black color like choline and biotin and a few others are unique to RDA. So we will go into the detail one by one on these the 5 key ingredients that in the RDA. Okay. So maybe before we move into this, I just want to take a break. I want to know how many people actually consume RDA. Maybe you can, in the chat room, type maybe 1. Then I know how many people actually consume RDA. Just take a break. Great job, Alicia. You are the one and only one, and me. Okay, and me. Who else? Who else is consuming? All right, you remember I say if you want to have, move your finger a bit. Okay, so, or are you in front? 或者是你不会听? Right, okay, so anyway, my mom, very good. Okay, who else? Good that your mom is taking. All right, so let's go into this key, the unique ingredients in the RDA. All right, so first one is chloride. It's a nutrient. This nutrient is similar to vitamin B. Okay, it's a source of mental growth needed for many steps in the metabolism. All right, so chloride is like a nutrient similar to B vitamins, means it's the B group. It can be made in our liver. All right, our liver can make that, but we need to fuel our liver to make that. It is also found in foods such as meat, fish, nut, beans, vegetable, and egg. So, and chloride is used in many chemical reactions in the body. So that's why we really need that. Our body has chemical reaction. So it's important that in the nervous system and for the development of our brain function. So chloride may also help decrease swelling and inflammatory related to asthmatic and or the, what I call it, rheumatoid. So that's why people commonly use chloride for memory and also mental function, and to prevent certain birth defect and also many other purposes. So that's why it says that it has many chemical reaction in the body. That's why it's an essential kind of ingredient. So this is, out of so many, is part of it because we seldom talk about this. Let me just highlight this only. The next one is the biotin, which is vitamin B7 group. This vitamin B7 group play a vital role in assisting enzyme to break down fat, carbohydrate, and protein in food. Wow, we never know that RDA have that, right? We only thought carb, but this also can help us to break down fat. So that's why if you are going through diet, RDA could also help you to feel that. So biotin is a vitamin found in food like egg, milk, and banana. Biotin deficiency, some people have biotin deficiency. It can cause thinning of our hair and also rashes on the face. So it can cause, when you don't have enough biotin. So biotin is also an important part of enzyme in the body that break down substance like fat, carbohydrate, and others. They isn't good. So it's also usually identified by some symptoms, like just now I mentioned, that it can thinning of our hair, maybe scaling, like when you have dry skin, you have scaling rashes around maybe eyes area, nose, or even mouth area. All right. So this is very commonly used for people treating hair loss. Okay, or blister nail. Okay, we have nails that, easily have hangnails, or maybe your nail can be easily break. So, and many other conditions. So that's why biotin is a very crucial nutrients that we use to function our body. The next nutrients that we have is called chromium. It reads as chromium. It's an essential mineral that it's an essential trace mineral that this is found in food and supplement and like keep our blood sugar level down, and also to normalize or improve the way our body uses the insulin. And of course, with that kind of processes, it can help to balance our hormones. So it also involved in the breaking down of and absorptions of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. It's the same thing like the previous one, biotin. Okay, so people also use this one to treat diabetes and high cholesterol, right? So that's why the performance are also for many other purposes. But the main thing is that it helps to balance blood sugar level, okay, and the uses of insulin. All right, so the next one that we want to talk about is molybdenum. Okay, molybdenum is an essential trace mineral also. It is found in foods such as milk, cheese, cereal grain, ligaments, nuts, leafy vegetable, and also organ meats. Okay, organ meats. So this molybdenum is most commonly used to treat for cancer and many other types of cancer like Wilson disease and other conditions. So it works in the body to break down proteins. Some proteins like proteins also, when it can help to break down so that it can easily, your body can easily use the protein in many other, combined with many other substances. And it's very important it's a very important role to normalize your body function coupled with other chemical reaction. All right, so that's why you feel that this is also very important in the daily allowance. Okay, next one is selenium. Just how I mentioned, that is usually it comes from the soil. It's a mineral found in soil, naturally appear in water and also some food. While people only use a very small amount, but it plays a key role in metabolism. Okay, it helps to regulate our metabolism or increase our metabolism. So selenium have attracted attention in the medical world because it contains very high antioxidant property. So antioxidants can protect our cell from the free radical damaging. So then there are many evidence that these selenium supplements may also reduce some odds diseases such as like prostate cancer. And so selenium content in the food largely depends on the location and the soil condition. So just now I mentioned why people want to go for organic, because the soil that they use, they never use any pesticide or any other conditions, like maybe they won't have any equipments that go into those soils that they can contain the zinc and mineral well in the soil. So the soil is quite crucial, even though it's very small amount needed, but the small amount needs will do a lot of things in our body, especially for metabolism. So I hope the way I explained these 5 special key ingredients, but the rest we have been explained in K29 and many others products. So who actually need to consume RDA, right? So who need that? Right, so actually, let's take a look. Just use the picture to show you who actually need all this. Of course, people who get tired during mid-afternoon, slow to get going in the morning, like you wake up, like you still feel like sleeping, but the whole day you are very busy, and or you get sleepy after you have your lunch and or your evening meal. People who play sport, and people who work physically hard and long hours, and people will have children, or people who skip meals, or people go exercise, and people overweight, or people suffer from injury at sport or work, or accident prone, like, always like, maybe accident prone, usually maybe a bit like clumsier, imbalance, because normally it's motor imbalance. So sometimes we are easily bounce into things, like have blister or soft nail, people who eat junk food or fast food a lot, and also people who work in air condition, people who always say that I'm very cold, smoke, drink alcohol, or live at urban environment, very busy all the time. So people can have in summary, it's like everybody need RDA, right? So because do you know that whether you have enough of the recommended dietary allowance every day? So our next slide will tell you that even though you are consuming like Lifeline, you are consuming many others, but you can top up the intake of the important vitamins and minerals, that it can help to support your neutralize your energy, vitality, and mental clarity. So it's very important that RDA actually fuel you in your mental health. It also helps you to age well on the inside as well as the outside, right? That is perfect companion to your busy routine, suitable for children over 11 years old. These are the times that they are growing very fast and they're very active, so that's why it's good for them. So to help them to balance their nutrients intakes and also emotional and mental development balance. So how do you take RDA? Actually, it's 1 table 4 times if you normal people, or 2 tablets twice daily. Okay, someone's on. Okay. All right. So, but you may also ask that, this is recommended dosage, 2 tablets twice daily, that is about 4. So maybe you say a lot, and RDA is so huge and big. So I have a tips here. It's like, for me, I take it in the morning. So I break it into 2. Then I consume, it becomes smaller. But the best time to consume is when you are having your food. I explained it before. When you are chewing your food or you are consuming your food, your throat here, the muscle tend to loosen out and open out, so that when you can swallow together with your food, and it's much easy because your saliva also gives the lubrication, then you can easily swallow tablets into, just consume the tablets, right? You can consume easily. So maybe you will ask that, you always say K29 is doing the job. Sounds like RDA is also a multivitamins and minerals that fuel our body. So here, I just want to share with you. Remember, K29 was designed based on the principle of Krebs cycle to support every step of our body energy production process. That is the energy process, your muscle health, your burning process, your fat burning process, your energy burning process. So those are more on the Krebs cycle to continue to fuel you. So RDA is to support stress-free mental health and chronic disease prevention. So what it contains in RDA is all the K29 minerals and vitamins. But additionally, just now I mentioned the 5 minerals that I go into detail. So it has, but when you combine all these ingredients together, it will go support the stress-free mental health. So it's like these 2 are different. And we also mentioned that you can consume 2 tablets twice a day. But if you are also consuming K29, then you can adjust your amount, your intake amount. So like for me, I do K29 and I take less of RDA. So I usually take 1 to 2. 1 to 2. But if I'm very stressful or it requires training work on the day, I may take up to 3. So it all depends on individual. But you can start with 1. You know, at least you can feel or replenish the 5 key ingredients that I just mentioned. Besides that, you also have many other steps to produce you. Because to share with you my personal experience, because before I actually consume supplement, I always believed that our body, God created us with the natural defense system that we know how to heal ourselves. Our body know how to heal ourselves. Our body know how to readjust accordingly. No doubt that was being designed. Our body was being designed in that way. But do you know that we consume processed food? We consume a lot of junk food, and we have unnecessary stress. By right, our body was designed in a way that we don't have so much stress. But in today's world, we are so stressful. We read, we access to social media so much and so fast, and we know a lot of things that is coming to us. Therefore, our body emotional reaction, it becomes stress. So that's why when we uses all our nutrients, and that is the reason why we need supplement. We need a lot of supplement. So the use of minerals and vitamin from our body is faster than we replenish. Because even the food that we eat, we say, oh, salmon is so good. But again, after the Japan's earthquake, a lot of people say because of the nuclear water, is now today the salmon is as healthy as before. We don't know. Like I talk about soy, do we still have the zinc and mineral in there? We don't know. So that's why that is the reason why we need to consume supplement to help our body to stay healthy. So therefore, so I just want to say is that as long as you take the supplement, it will really help you to stay healthy and stress-free, especially you added one more RDA. So I really want to urge everyone, when you attend our royalty, you're going to get one RDA. Please, that RDA is for you, okay? If you don't have RDA, you don't consume RDA in your routine, open it up and start consume the RDA. Use that as your sample. Then you remember I said for our job, when you consume product, you can share the product, right? And I have one story to share that in one of our royalty, during the time we do online, we do virtual royalty, and we have to do a lot of recording. We have to put all the video together, and we really lack of manpower. And there was one time we stay in the office, we do the video and everything to put together. It was 36 hours, me, Kay, and Man, and many other team members. And RDA is the one that supported us through that 36 hours that we really didn't sleep. But we feel tired, but we still alert. And we were like so amazed with how RDA can help us through during that time. So these are behind the scenes that you don't know. But I really want to encourage you that I'm also the product of our product. So that's why I always feel that every one of us, if we want to upsell, cross-sell, we must try every product that we have in our range. And if you try all the product, it's only 15 items. It's not a lot. So new image range is about 15 items only. So I know you can do it. And if you have questions, I think there are some questions that I need to answer in the chat room. Right? If I look at it, if I drink Lifeline, do I still need RDA? I think during the sharing, I mentioned that Lifeline has a different focus. Like RDA, just now we mentioned, it has a different focus. so that if you like a hectic person, you always on the go, and like you have critical boss like Iman, then you should take RDA. All right. Kena pula. So you should take RDA. I think RDA is suitable for everyone, especially like Cindy. I know you have kids and then you need to juggle, balance. So you can start with one also. You know, that is very good. And is it compulsory to consume RDA on a daily basis? It's always good to build your body. Like I mentioned, our body draw our reserve nutrients faster than we consume. That's why you every day have to replenish. All right. It's just like today I eat rice. I have my meal, but then after a few hours, I have to eat again because my body start to get hungry. Why we are hungry? Because our energy have been used up, right? So that's why we need to eat. So that's why it's good to do it daily. Like I say, you can always start with one, and then if you feel like your lifestyle is very straining, you can increase to 2. Even myself, I only take 2. Those who take capsule only recommend to take with RDA. When you say capsule, I assume is like lifeline capsule, and yeah, you like say everybody need RDA. It all depends on that individual condition. All right. Pregnant woman, it's better to consult with doctor. All right. So always like if we are, just remember, supplement is to supplement our health. It's not a medicine. We cannot cure any disease and things like that. So it's better to consult the doctor. RDA consumed with omega-4Q10. We don't take together, but normally you can space out the time. But when I see Graham in the morning breakfast, Graham has all in one plate. It's like part of the breakfast. That's why he will eat his bread and then he will take RDA. And then he will consume some veggie. Then after that, he take omega-4Q10. So he take everything in the morning because he said he need everything in the morning so that he will be on the go. So I think it will be okay to take together. RDA boost for my mood. Yes, that is for Iman. Okay, so I think that's all the question is being answered. But all I want to say is you are New Image ambassadors. You will be the first one to consume the product and then you share the product, right? Then only you can upsell the product, right? Okay, back to you, Oliver.